It is October 6, 2025, and I'm currently waiting for a phone call from Joe Exotic from prison. So we'll see. He confirmed for 10, and I think he's going to call, but anything's possible since we are dealing with someone who is currently in prison. I'm getting a phone call right now. Let's see if this works. And it's going to be on my phone, so I'm going to do speakerphone, and I'm sorry.
Charged for this call. This call is from
Joe.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call in all future, you may begin speaking now.
Name.
Joe, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Hi, thank you for joining us, Joe. I know we don't have a lot of time, but we are live on air right now with my show Inverted World, and we've talked over the past few years. I know you're in a really crazy situation, so let's use this time wisely. And first, we'll start with why you believe you're a political prisoner and what we can do to amplify your message.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong to this country, but the reason why I say I'm a political prisoner is because the reason that they did this and they filmed Tiger King, because I didn't film for Tiger King. They put me in prison and then they filmed Tiger King, and it was to try and get the Big Cat Safety Act bill passed through Congress. So they made me out to be this crazy ass tiger dude, and then they nicknamed the Big Cat Safety Act the Tiger King bill. And they got it passed because they made us all look like fools on television, and then President Biden signed it into law. And then good old Kamala Harris put on her Twitter and bragged for everybody to go watch Tiger King because she's the one who co-sponsored the Tiger King bill. So that's why I call myself a political prisoner. So
they created a narrative, you're saying, out of the TV show, framed you a certain way to help pass this law and turn you into this political prisoner. And
absolutely. They did the same thing to Tanya. Look what they did with Chimp Crazy.
Right. So you've been asking this administration for a pardon. How is that going? Have you had any conversations with the administration?
I've actually not had conversation with the administration, but the pardon attorney's office at the White House has emailed my lawyers and told them that my clemency was in the investigation stage, and they emailed the prison because my counselor called me in here to the prison office and showed me what he was responding with because they emailed him and wanted a status update on me. So it's going around the table. We're just, I guess, from what I hear on the news, there's problems with the deputy attorney general that's holding everything up for everybody because everybody's upset that there's nothing been done since May. So I guess they're deciding whether or not they're going to keep him or fire him or what. But there's some pretty big lawyers, Peter Tickton, which is Trump's best friend and lawyer. He is demanding that they fire him because he represents a bunch of January 6ers that are still in prison.
Yeah, and those guys need to get out for sure. So the reason your story came back in the news recently, I saw the article by friend of mine, Cassandra McDonald, writing for the Gateway Pundit. Right. I love Cassandra, and she put out this article basically saying how contrasting your situation with the guy who threatened to assassinate Judge Kavanaugh.
Right. I mean, this guy.
This call is from a federal prison.
This guy went to Judge Kavanaugh's house intending on killing him, and then had a list of other judges. So he wasn't going to stop with just Brett Kavanaugh, and only got 8 years, and I got 21 for Carol Baskin, and my people all got on TV and admitted that they lied, and I'm still here serving a 21-year sentence when you can try and kill a Supreme Court judge and only get 8 years. This system is backwards.
we certainly have a messed up justice system. I don't think anyone can. it's a mess, and we know that guy went with weapons. He was ready to do horrible things. Let's talk about why you believe you've been framed.
Well, I mean, Alan Glover, the hitman, got on world television, and this is the part that I'll never understand, okay? He got on world television, admitted that I didn't give him money to go kill Carol, admitted that I didn't give him a phone to go kill Carol, and then took the producers of Tiger King and my lawyers to the zoo and showed them where he has hid a murder weapon in the woods behind the trailer he lived at, that him and Jeff's original plan was to kill me. And I'm the one in prison. Nobody's been charged with perjury, conspiracy to commit murder. And you got to keep in mind, when they were planning this, I was actually a gubernatorial candidate. So I was a political candidate that they had a whole plot to kill.
That's right. Didn't you also run for president?
I did.
That's right.
Prison.
From prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard you talk about why you think Trump should understand your situation. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, okay, and I speak for tens of thousands of people that are stuck in this system, okay? I'm not the only innocent person in prison, by no means, all right? But President Trump was indicted 94 times, and he was convicted 34 times before he got to be president, okay? I'm sure if he'd have lost, they'd still be after him, right? I was charged with just one charge, okay, and they arrested me. And the minute I didn't play by their rules and plead guilty, then they superseded me and charged me 22 more times. So our Constitution says two things that I was denied. One, not to have excessive bail. I was held without bail. They held me without bond. They kidnapped me. And then they kept me in solitary, so I couldn't help build a case or find evidence, okay? Two, I was entitled to a fair trial, all right? And the minute I asked for that trial, I was punished and charged with 22 more charges just so they can make sure something stuck.
Wow. Yeah. So the unending lawfare against American citizens, it's got to stop. So when it comes to your health, I know you've had some issues while in prison. Do you mind talking about those, what you've been going through?
Yeah, well, I was born with a disease called CVID, common variable immune disease. So I have to get blood infusions every month, and I've done that my whole life. But since I've came to federal prison, I've been through a year of chemo and radiation for prostate cancer, and now I'm dealing with prostate cancer and lung cancer. And then I just got all of my PET scans and CAT scans back a couple months ago. Now we can add coronary artery disease to that.
Sheesh, I'm sorry to hear that. How, I mean, I don't even know how to ask this, but how are you doing in there?
Well, I mean, I'm hanging in there the best I can, am I in pain every minute of every day? Absolutely. Do I bear through it because I don't want to turn into some kind of a pain pill addict? So I do everything with Tylenol to just bear the pain. You can't eat properly in here because they feed you the bottom of the barrel shit they can buy.
Right.
So the nutrition is hard to stay healthy. And I'm talking, again, I'm not the only one in here. There's people in here that are much sicker than I am. And our government doesn't give a shit.
Well,
our government has no right to talk about the care of any other country's prisons.
Yeah, we have, I think the most people in prison in this country, if I'm not mistaken.
We have more incarcerated by population than any country in the world.
Yeah. It's insane. The prison system.
And if you've ever been through our justice system, now you see why. I mean, look what they did to Trump. Look what they've done to me. I don't know if you might Google him. Andy the Hammer Anderson. He holds the world's title to 87 straight knockouts.
This call is from a federal prison.
And he's serving a 30-year sentence for conspiracy to distribute drugs, and they never even caught him with drugs.
Yeah, it's insane. There's so many stories like this of people in jail who don't, who shouldn't be there, or people who are there for way too long, or people who've been put in prison for, having marijuana, while politicians who put them there in the 90s are now decriminalizing it right now, which is also insane.
It is crazy. It is crazy. What's crazier is there's a 24-year-old guy here that's serving 20 years that stabbed his mom to death and drug her body out and set it on fire in the woods. And he's got a year less than I do.
Holy moly. Yep. That unfortunately sounds about right. So I know you talked about, I know we got a little bit of time left. I know you talked about the application a little bit and talking to the administration, but can you talk about what the clemency application means and what that is about?
There's a difference between clemency and a pardon, okay? Some people think that, nobody deserves a pardon, okay? A pardon wipes your record completely clean, okay? I filed for clemency, okay, because I would have more of a chance of getting just a clemency. And what that means is time served. President Trump would commute my sentence down to time served with no probation or nothing, and I could go on my merry way. And why, Shane, I decided to do it that way is because I do look up to President Trump. And he is the president of the greatest country on this planet as a convicted felon, okay? So, rather than to argue whether you agree that I should have never sold a tiger cub or I had a permit to euthanize those 5, you give me time served, let me go on my way, because I can still help the homeless and help sick children being a convicted felon, because my platform is big enough. I think I can survive.
Well, amen to that. How can people help? If they feel compelled to help you, what can they do?
The biggest thing is, because I don't like to ask for money, okay, so get on joeexoticofficial.com. If you want to help with the lawyer bills, buy you something. There's all kinds of cool gear there, and all those proceeds go to the lawyers. But the main thing is, get on joeexoticofficial.com, and on the drop-down box, there's an evidence link. And go watch the videos of not only them admitting to perjury and doing depositions of perjury, but we got 700 phone recordings from their very phones now. And the government agents were covering up rape and sex trafficking and bank fraud and identity theft, all for their witnesses so they would lie about me under oath. It's all there. It'll completely stun you what our government hides.
Yeah, well, viewers of this show will not be surprised because we talk about this kind of thing all the time. Lack of transparency, the two-tier justice system, how deranged everything is. It's crazy. So you've been in for 7 years already?
I'm going on 8, yeah.
Going on 8.
September, May 8th. Mm-hmm.
So the world has drastically changed in 8 years. It's wild to think. You're getting, I guess, access to the news and seeing what's going on this side of the world?
I watch the news every day. It's crazy how many mass shootings are going on out there. And the division of people, because especially with this immigration thing, I think, I don't know if we can handle 3 more years of this. I think that we're headed for a civil war. I really do.
Is that what you're thinking? Is that what people are saying in there with you? Do they agree?
Yeah. And we all sit here and watch the news, and as crazy as people are getting out there, I truly believe that we're headed for a civil war.
Wow, Joe. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to call in, and I'm happy to get to share this message with everybody out there.
I appreciate you giving me a voice, and if you would, send my people a link so they can share it with you.
I will, absolutely. All right, Joe. Okay. All the best.
Tell everybody out there that me and George appreciate their support. I send my love and respect to everybody.
All right, I will. Thank you. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, there you have it, everybody. Joe Exotic calling from federal prison, wanting clemency.
He was right on time.
Right on. He said it'd be 10. I was getting nervous. I was like, maybe it won't happen. But I think I've been talking for a few years now. I think it started around when he was running for president. And he's got a lively Instagram account. But yeah, I'm very interested in that case. And shout out to Cassandra McDonald for her article in the Gateway Pundit. There was one part I wanted to read from it. This came out yesterday, I believe. Exotic lamented how Trump should be the first person to understand his persecution, as he himself has faced over 90 lawfare indictments, which Joe talked about. The disparity in sentences between Exotic and Roski, which is the person who went after Kavanaugh, should have conservatives fuming over the political bias in the courts. How is it possible that a zookeeper entangled in a reality TV-fueled feud with a liberal activist was hammered with over twice the time as someone who nearly upended the Supreme Court? Pretty crazy contrast there, which is quite alarming to me to think about with this guy going after Kavanaugh and the stuff they found him with, all that. So check out Joe's stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there about witnesses, like he was saying, witnesses being caught lying, evidence that he believes has been planted on him. So maybe we'll hear back from him at some point. It was fun to hear from Joe, and I pray that he makes it out of there, because we know how insane it is in prisons and just a two-tier justice system in America. Brandon, how are you?
Good.
Nice hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Got
you.
that in Phoenix, in the great city of Phoenix?
Yes, the great city of Phoenix.
We missed you.
Dude, it was a crazy week.
Yeah.
It was a crazy week. Shout out to everybody at TPUSA for taking super good care of us. It was awesome to be there and meet everybody. Thank you, Daisy, for the hat. Very cool. And shout out to Andrew and Jack for everything. You guys are great. So
It's a great studio, huh?
dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Their layout is really crazy.
Yeah, it's wild there.
Their production is amazing. It's like an actual TV studio, not like what we've got here.
It's amazing. It was one of the best studios I've been in. It was back in 2022, and they set up a whole studio for Tim to do IRL when we went out there for AmFest. And I did the episode with Kyle Rittenhouse. It was an amazing looking studio. We all walked away being like, how do we make our studios look like this on camera?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sweet hat. Love it. And I imagine that was a tough place to be, after everything with Charlie.
I didn't get to Area 51, guys.
Come on, man.
I did not get as far as I wanted
Brandon's
to.
fired.
I was like,
Unbelievable.
I was like, I'm so close.
You are.
I'm so close. And we didn't, the farthest I got was the casino.
I'm not surprised. But it's when you guys are out there and doing that stuff, it's busy. It's nonstop.
It was definitely nonstop. It was just 7 days of madness right down to the plane ride back,
Yeah.
and then just no rest for the wicked through the weekend. So,
Yep.
we're back and we're still working. We got 2 Culture War live shows coming up. Shane's
Yep.
going to be at one of them. I'm going to be
Yep.
there with him.
Yep.
I think is that the 10th?
Oh wait, mine got canceled.
No.
You weren't here for that, were you?
No, wait, was that because
Rain got canceled.
Is that the one that what's her face dropped?
No, I wasn't on that.
Okay,
one.
because
But-
that unfolded on Friday. If you
Yes.
were watching IRL, and I was sitting there like, wait a minute, what? And then Tim went on that crazy rant. It's huge on YouTube right now. That video blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one's not mine.
Dude, that episode was crazy. I was sitting there texting Tate like, oh my god, this is getting intense. So
No, mine.
Anybody saw that? It was
I was
nuts.
supposed to do the 10th with Cloudman, Augustus DeRico of Rainmaker, the CEO, and he said he had to reschedule.
Yeah, got to reschedule.
So I'm waiting for that new date. We'll see when it happens. I was really stoked for it, and I was really bummed to hear that.
Dude, I was stoked for it because I was gonna MC for that show, so I would have been basically hosting. And I could have totally had a hand in,
Yeah.
helping you.
Tag team,
I don't know.
back again.
Take this guy down,
So no, that won't be happening now. But maybe in the future, I'm holding out. I'm not holding my breath. Actually, I'm not. But yeah. So since you didn't go to Area 51, I guess the best we could do is talk about alien DNA.
Yeah, I suppose we probably should, seeing as though it's apparently in human bodies.
Oh, and by the way, we will get to phone calls in, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. We'll see. I sent you so many stories, but we can pepper those throughout the
You
week.
did send me a lot of stories.
Lots
I will
going
put
on.
the link out there now. We
Yeah.
did not release it early because we did not know if Joe was going to call, and Joe called. So, yeah,
Incredible.
let's move on.
Incredible. So, from the New York Post, from today, alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. Bonkers new study claims. They always got to question headlines that have the
Bonkers
word
new study.
bonkers in it. But this is the Post, and they do have my favorite headline of all time. Headless body found in topless bar. Is it the invasion of the genome snatchers? Just in case the idea of aliens walking around in human skin suits wasn't frightening enough. And we know that's true because I've seen Gavin Newsom up close, as well as, oh shoot, now I'm forgetting his name. You know how I am with names.
Got him.
Yeah. An outlandish study asserts that aliens might have abducted us and inserted genes into human DNA, with the fallout affecting potentially millions of people. So all of you out there might just be alien. At first, we're all connected through Genghis Khan. Now you're aliens. Humanity may be undergoing genetic transformation. Lead researcher Dr. Max Rempel, the founder and CEO of the DNA Resonance Research Foundation, told the Daily Mail of the study, which has yet to be peer reviewed. I don't really have much stock in peer review, but I do like that they added that in there. Rempel came to this far-fetched seeming conclusion by analyzing DNA from both regular people and those who have claimed to have been abducted by aliens. So if anyone out there has an alien abduction story, we'd love to hear from you. We haven't had a caller with an alien abduction story in quite some time, but we have had them. We've had a handful of them. And in the first Inverted World book, I interviewed one guy in particular who had been abducted every year since he was 7. He had a lot of wild stories. And he also has a alien abduction, like kind of AA group, where in Pine Bush, New York. This comes following a spike in UFO sightings over the last year, making many fear that we are on the verge of some not so friendly close encounters. Well, you might be thinking about the hostile probe that is hurtling towards Earth. And we do have some probe news for you guys. We might get to that later today. Yeah.
They totally slid that one right in front of me. You didn't even see it, did you?
That commercial?
No, I looked away for 1 second and they slid an ad in.
I was like, all right, yeah, we're sponsored by Coca-Cola now.
I got to get an ad blocker for this machine. It's ridiculous.
The scientists specifically analyzed 581 complete families with the 1,000 Genomes Project, discovering large sequences of DNA in 11 families that didn't appear to correspond to either family. These genetic aberrations entailed a bundle of 348 non-parental genetic variants. As the subjects were born before 1990, this ruled out human gene editing technologies like CRISPR, which only emerged in 2013, as far as we know. Because we do know that Bill Clinton was talking about how, we might be cloning humans in the 90s. And there was a lot of talk about that, a lot of fear going on about cloning, which I think they were doing. Anyway.
Yeah, just do it. Make sure you do it right.
Right.
If you're going to do it.
But don't do it at all.
Don't do it at all, but just if you do it, just make sure you do it right.
Just please stop cloning people.
Thanks,
Bill.
Bill.
We know you're doing it. Okay, people? Rempel also analyzed, how many Monica Lewinsky clones do you think Bill's got in storage? Rempel also analyzed 23andMe results, from individuals who self-identify as alien abductees, discovering that some families showed evidence of non-parental markers. And there we have an image of, I guess, a supposed alien abduction.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that is. That's real.
It's a X-Files episode.
Yeah. If this evidence is confirmed to be true, that's a big if. The alien prober feels that it could be possible to detect which humans carry alien DNA, essentially identifying hybrids. Looks like this guy wants to round people up and check DNA. Huh.
Yeah.
Alien concentration camps. In other words, like the premises of every sci-fi flick from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, it's a great movie, to They Live, also great, the aliens are already walking amongst us, camouflaged or our genes, per his theory. The extraterrestrial enthusiast even claimed that noted that a good portion of those with autism, ADHD, and Asperger's and other neurodivergent traits could contain these alien insertions, although he noted this is speculation at this point. This guy's getting
Whoa.
into it. So not Tylenol. This guy's, I think, getting paid by Tylenol to say this. What do you think? You think this is a stretch or?
I don't know. There's a lot of.
I guess I'm an alien.
There's actually a lot there to unwrap.
There is.
Why are we singling out these types? It's like I'm tying this with what you said about like it looks like they want to look into genetics for people and just
let's see
have at it. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you had. Oh, look, you're an alien.
Because we know it's the Chinese that are aliens, obviously.
I mean, let us know what you guys think in chat. Would you let them check your blood to find out if you have supposed alien DNA?
You shouldn't even be using 23andMe, guys. I think China brought that up, and you shouldn't have used it in the first place. Honestly, these things are like turning into pools of DNA for them to, in my opinion, turn into personalized bioweapons. You know, Bill Gates is somewhere walking around a 23andMe laboratory, plucking up DNA, being like, I can turn this into
23andMe sounds like it's a store in the mall. Like,
yeah, Forever 23andMe.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Who comes up with these names?
And he's going to put that in a mosquito that he created and inject you with it. So be careful. He even suggested that these extraterrestrial genetic modifications could bestow humans with unusual abilities like telepathy, much like Ellen Ripley's psychic abilities in the sci-fi sequel Alien Resurrection. Like that they had to just get these movies in there. These guys like, I need these references in an article. Of course, there are some caveats to this out there study. Rempel, who holds a PhD from the Institute of Gene Biology in Moscow, Russia, noted that there is no conclusive evidence yet.
A PhD in what, though?
Gene biology.
It's the Institute of Gene Biology, but it just says
right.
that he holds a PhD.
I hold a PhD. I bought it for $20 online. None of this is fake. The second you see PhD in someone's name as a qualifier.
I mean, if you voice what the PhD is in,
even then.
But if it's completely unrelated, obviously you're going to omit it on purpose. Yeah. Just, I've got a PhD.
It's gender studies. But they probably don't teach that in Moscow.
Denied.
Denied. I love that at the end of the article, they're like, no conclusive evidence yet. That takes time and effort, he said, said the scientist, who added that current commercial genotyping services, which rely on array-based data, aren't precise enough to support such radical claims. Instead, he advocates for next-generation sequencing, also known as NGS, or whole genome sequencing, WGS, which can detect novel variants with much higher resolution. Rempel's hope is to use high-resolution or next-generation sequencing, which can pick up novel variants at a higher resolution to analyze parents and children who identify as alien abductees and hopefully pinpoint where aliens infiltrated the DNA strand. This is unbelievable. Do not participate in these studies, people.
I identify as an alien abductee.
Well, let me get that blood then and run it through all of my machinery.
Are you kidding me right now? Okay, so that's like a free subpoena for all wackos that they believe like are out of their minds and weren't actually abducted.
Yep.
You know, like that guy from Independence Day. It's like, oh,
that's right.
Jumped into a crap duster and been doing that ever since. Like they want those people.
Yep.
Basically, is what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to reverse engineer it at some point. If they find something like this, they're going to give it to the de-extinction guys and be like, how do we make this now? But without the human part. Turn this into an alien for us. Make it ride the dire wolves.
They're suggesting that these people came back as aliens.
Yeah.
They're suggesting that if you were abducted, you were impregnated with this alien genetic whatever code.
Yeah, we've actually had a caller on the show, I think it was last summer, 2 summers ago, who claimed to be that they actually replaced her with some alien soul and sent her back in like her skin, but with an alien soul.
Can we make an interesting tie here?
Yes.
Area 51 with their DNA being
altered by the
enemy.
Dang. This is it. Are those guys aliens? Is that why we're not getting help? How does the VA cure alien
I guess
DNA?
we need him to go test all of those people, whoever this PhD guy is, right?
Man, I wonder if those guys would even want to do anything like this. They don't trust anything anymore. Maybe they would.
Why would you trust your own government?
I don't know. You shouldn't, people. If you don't already, you know you shouldn't. But those guys that Brandon's referencing, if you haven't seen that episode where we talked about it, there are people who were handpicked Air Force vets who worked at top secret on top secret operations in Area 51 in the 80s and 90s. Who later on recently discovered that they all had very similar inflictions, like grapefruit-sized tumors, and they don't really know what. They can't talk about it. One gentleman in particular said his DNA was actually altered by this operation that they were working on. He said that since his DNA was altered, that's what made his son get born with a horrible brain tumor. And they also claim that 400 people working in those projects have passed away due to what they call an invisible enemy. And to make matters worse, they can't get help from the VA because all of their records are what they call data masked. So it's like they didn't really exist. They worked, it's on paper, they were there, but they can't reference what they were working on to allow the VA to give them the help they need. So they are getting help. I mean, they're getting, their message has been amplified. I think it was Newsmax who broke the story last winter, and there have been politicians helping amplify their message, but a lot of sick guys, and it is insane. And they're calling it the invisible enemy because they just have no idea what did this to them. Wild. So if there's any alien abductees out there, you should call into the show. What else do we have in today's news that we can get into? I sent you so much stuff. Let's look at a creepy robot head. The creepy robotic face. It's
Do we have to?
creepy. I think this is going to lighten the mood.
I think it's just gonna give
I think
me
it's got a video.
nightmares.
I think it's got a video too. So
It definitely looks like a video.
let's show the people this.
it's-
for nightmares.
You know how much I hate Daily Mail and their insane cropping of
ads,
videos and articles.
everything.
So don't be alarmed by how big this head is going to appear on your screen like I was. It's massive. Yeah. Ugh.
Jump scare.
Bleh. So I have not, this is one of those instances where I have not peeped, quote unquote, peeped this video before we are playing it. So I don't honestly know what this is going to show us. Do we just bonk it on the nose here or
Just
what?
press
All right,
play.
let's get it. All right. Ad.
Oh,
I
looks
knew
like,
it.
It looks like a female RoboCop. But I don't like it.
It actually did.
Whatever it is, and this is not the first, but this is the new one. There's been, you guys can find videos of robots like doing all types of wild stuff.
All right, give me something here. What's happening? I'll skip this. There we go. Did it really just do that to me? Okay.
Creepy robotic head has eerily human-like facial expressions and movements. Can I just point everyone? Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah, because I want to resize this anyway. This is driving me nuts.
When it starts again, I want everyone to look to the left, to our left of the robot face. And let's just take a look at what's going on in the background. What on earth is that? Looks like a human skull with an Andy Warhol wig. Show the people. So we're going to look at
What is happening here?
creepy skull and creepy human face. This is how they make Zuckerberg. This is how they make Sam Altman. You were watching it here. This is
Okay, so
why does it have a fan? It gets so hot it needs a fan.
is that like a Chappie drone back there? Like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? Look at that thing.
With the 22 on it? Why do they have this alternate mask on the left-hand side that looks like it's Yakuza? Like, what?
Oh, they have to zoom in.
Yeah,
just so you
thanks.
guys aren't aware.
I totally needed that.
Yep. This will be a next Hollywood star or politician or your wife. No one watching this show would want that. But we've discussed many people who have married robots. So a Chinese robotics company has unveiled a creepy robotic head with eerily human-like facial expressions and movements. In an unnerving video, the robot's disembodied face sits on a workshop table as it looks around, blinking and opening its mouth. A head form. The company behind the lifelike animatronics says its bodiless robot is designed for research and interaction. I already don't trust that. There are creeps who are working there. I guarantee it.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, no.
It's probably just the same video over again.
Look away. On social media, tech fans have been blown away by the robot's incredibly realistic expressions, with one calling it an animated video game character come to life. Look, these tech fans don't get around, I think. They don't leave a lot. Does that look... I mean, it's realistic.
The cooling system on that board is impressive.
But my goodness.
I gotta say, that's ingenuity where I've never seen it. Is that an actual clip-on desk fan that they're using?
Yep.
That's
like
incredible.
Looks like it. And what is behind it? Is that its engine? Is that its heart?
Yep, it's the same video.
Okay.
Blah.
According to a Headform's website, the company's goal is to create sophisticated humanoid robot heads that can express emotions, perceive their environment, and interact seamlessly with humans. Why? The robot, dubbed the Headform Origin M1, gets its expressive abilities from 25 tiny motors hidden under the skin, just like the rest of us. These fast, quiet devices work together to replicate the tiny twitches and movements that make the face seem so realistic. The robot also has tiny cameras embedded in its eyes, as well as hidden microphones and a speaker, so that it can interact with people nearby.
So you can connect to your Bluetooth and play your favorite music out of your robot.
Oh man. So we see these, You know there are some creeps building this stuff here right now, perhaps with your own tax dollars. Although this robot is just a face mounted on a stand, the short test video has wowed fans. One commenter wrote, "And I thought they could never make the skin look real. This is crazy."
Indeed.
That person's going to marry this thing. Another chimed in, "The most realistic robot face so far. Keep up the bookwork. You will earn big." If I was Musk, I would have already bought the company. I thought I was going to say if I was Musk, I would have impregnated that.
I like this second one here. Great. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Are you guys going to let this in your house? Is this something that you would purchase to bring home? Because I'm not doing that. You guys know I don't even have a TV or a microwave. The fridge is almost going to go soon.
Oh, what happens when one of these things knocks on your door and asks you if you want to buy a TV or a microwave, or who your current gas or electric provider is, or if you're ready for Jehovah's return?
I'm not allowed to say on YouTube what I would do. So you guys don't want that in your house, right? I don't want that. But you know, Elon said he was going to have every one of those, not those, he's building his own, and he's going to have, everyone is going to want one in their house, not me. You're going to want it babysitting your kids, not me. Keep that away from me. I see you guys in the chat. Nope. Chris says it looks like AI. Could be. Hi, Renee. Cheers, Shane. Cheers, Renee. Yeah. Don't bring those in your house. Don't bring those into anywhere, honestly.
We're going to get one for the studio, though.
For target practice.
We're going to ask it questions.
For target practice.
And yeah, apparently, according to Shane, shoot at it.
Yeah. Ronan, I see that. Dang, you don't have a microwave either. We don't. We've never had a microwave. I spent 10 years with just a stovetop, a double stovetop.
That Renee actually sent me a video before I left last week of a robot that was purchased by some dude, and then he basically told it he was going to... It knew that he had a YouTube channel and that his YouTube channel was all about destroying robots. So he basically was begging for his life, and he ran it over with a truck and destroyed it.
No,
it was crazy.
That's amazing. Is that guy my doppelganger?
Dude, I gotta find that video again and send it to Shane. Shane needs to see it because he's probably gonna.
Please pull it up. Yeah, I don't.
Gonna enjoy that.
Okay, so you guys, I'm not surprised. You guys are against this. That's good. That's good. So you're all still allowed to be in the chat. Owning a cell phone is already dystopia. Holographic Sweater says, yeah, I know. It's tough. But I do also think about how at some point we might need to hack into these robots to fight the robots, because it's Terminator. You know, they were Luddites, but they learned they had to fight the dystopian Skynet with Skynet. And that might be the future. That is what the Neo-Luddites are doing in the UK right now when they take down all those crazy cameras that are finding them. So... Not cool. Yeah, I wonder how much it is. Renee says it was $80,000. I don't know if that's in reference to the face.
No, that was in reference
for the
to the
robot.
drone that dude smoked with his truck.
Sheesh. You know what we could look at really quick before we get to calls? Did I send you the Mars waterfall thing from China or Japan? I forget where it was. Let me see. I sent you so many things.
I don't think so. I got another...
Yes, the last tweet I sent into the group chat. Retweet. It says fireworks drone show
in Hunan.
Yeah, pull that up. Let's just look at robot malfunctions, and then we'll do the Tesla Optimus really quick, and then we'll move on to callers. Can we full screen this thing? Is that possible? Look at this. This is a drone display gone wrong. It gets better. This is what the robots want with you. This is what they think of us. Wait, here we go. Wait till it looks up. Yeah, I don't want this.
What?
Yeah. There's your babysitter. There's Elon's next wife. Not for me.
Shane, what are we seeing here?
It was like a fireworks display from what I hear.
A fireworks display that they didn't test before unleashing on the public? This looks like a fucking volcano exploding.
It says it went wrong.
There is hellfire and brimstone falling from the sky. Look at this. The town is on fire.
Yeah, it's bad. I was trying to see if it was AI. I haven't seen anyone say it was AI. It looks real, but you know how it is these days. But it looks pretty bad. It looks
Who
bad.
directed this explosive shit show, and how many years in prison do you think he should do?
I don't know. They might have wanted it to
Look
happen.
at this.
That's insane. That's insane. Insane. So you want to pull up that other, since we're on the topic of robots and drones, pull up that Optimus one. I think it was Optimus dueling Kung Fu.
Rob Zombie doesn't use as many pyrotechnics. You guys are out of your minds. Which one? I'm sorry.
It was right above that
Too busy
one,
bitching.
I think it was an Elon tweet. I want to say Project
Oh,
Mayhem.
the Kung Fu
hook me up with
Tesla
this.
Optimus.
Yeah, show the people this one.
Do you guys want to see how these things are excelling in martial arts? Let's have a look. I'm gonna pop this one too.
Oh, goodness gracious. No.
Now, we've seen a couple of these that are actually AI. This thing looks like it's taking its cues from a Mortal Kombat game. This looks a hell of a lot realer, in my opinion. And this thing is really just mimicking motions. Like, it's not actually trying to strike.
He just did like the punch thing from Mission Impossible.
Yeah, no, he's like reenacting like Keanu from The Matrix or something. I don't know. Some of these styles look the same, but...
Oh, is that guy over there controlling it? In the back?
To some degree, it looks
Is he got a
like...
remote control going on?
Yeah, he's definitely rocking the thumbstick there.
Mortal Kombat. Fatality.
Okay, so that means this was rehearsed, not programmed, because he's doing it live, Bill O'Reilly style.
Look at we're gonna do a lot. Look at all the ones they got just hanging around, just waiting to be activated to fight us.
It looks exactly like you would think it looks, too. They're just hanging from these
Nooses.
frickin'... Yeah. It literally looks dystopian.
And this is just what they're showing us.
This is terrifying. I mean,
Wait till this thing is fueled with grok.
do we really need to teach these things to fight? I mean...
They already have. This will be deployed into cities. It's going to be deployed into our own cities. They're going to patrol the streets. They're going to go to Ukraine. They're going to Gaza. It's going to be great.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to sow, fear, but if you guys aren't fucking looking at what's happening here, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like-
I suggest doing a deep dive onto GunTube and just seeing what works best.
GunTube?
Yeah, like, all the gun YouTubers. And looking at just what's best for the robot invasion. Everyone's worried about zombies and stuff. Fair point.
Dragon's breath.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's right.
Dragon's breath. Just melt the wires,
That's right. Yeah.
get it down, overheat the chip. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're just showing us what they have already. I think they've got better stuff waiting to deploy. Plus the drones that have facial recognition plugged into the Clearview AI, plugged into Grok, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward
There's
to it.
a lot of people who say that, no, we don't have this technology now. We don't have this technology now. And I think it's bullshit. I think we are totally we are totally 10 years ahead of everybody at all times with
we do.
everything. And even on what we release, we're maybe 15, 20
Yeah,
at max years ahead of what we're telling
until
people.
they reveal it, right? Until they reveal it. Like, I think it was last week we were talking about how,
With the exception of the last iPhone, because I don't know what the hell that was. But
but like every time there's war, there's always crazy technological developments, and we see this stuff coming out of Ukraine and Gaza. We've talked a lot about Lavender AI and how this death machine that may or may not be using Palantir technology to do the killing, which has a high error percentage rate. So it's already being deployed. Even our own Pentagon a year or two ago said that they're leaving a lot of these drone death decisions to AI. That was years ago. I think I think I even brought that up in the old IRL studio. So it's got to be 2 or 3 years ago. So it's here. It's coming. I want to make sure you guys know. Make sure you're training for the robot apocalypse. It's on the horizon. Shall we get to some calls?
Yeah, we can. You guys know what time it is. Like, comment, subscribe, share the show with everyone that you know. And we are going to go on and bring on our favorite Scott.
And real quick, Shady J said, "Bring back Johnny number 5." In my older years now, I'm realizing I love Johnny number 5.
Johnny 5 was dope.
I love Short Circuit.
Johnny
but
5 was dope.
It was propaganda to get us into robots, to accept the robot apocalypse, to put emotion on him, to say he's alive. It's not true. It's fiction. They
Yeah,
wanna
well,
destroy
you
it.
know, so was Pinocchio.
Well, if you look into Pinocchio, there's a lot of weird in the original Pinocchio, a lot of weird
Yeah.
parallels to like the Epstein Island stuff. I remember reading that. I was going to read it to my child, and as I was getting into it, we had the old school, like vintage Pinocchio. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not reading this. This is actually bizarre
Yeah.
and sinister.
Didn't seem weird back then, but it totally is.
Yeah.
Totally is.
So who do we got?
We are bringing on Miss Catherine all the way from Scotland.
All right.
Catherine,
we
are
had
you
Scotland
there?
News last weekend. What's up?
Hi, yes, I am.
Welcome back.
It's good to hear from you.
Hi. It's good to see you guys back as well. Obviously, it's been a while since I called, but just really, really devastated about Charlie Kirk. I hope the United Kingdom did him proud when we did that march.
Yeah, that was massive.
Yeah, there was they reckon about 3 million, but mainstream media said 150,000.
You know how they do. That's what they did for the inaugurations and everything.
Yeah. Well, I haven't yet been abducted by aliens.
Okay,
That's good news.
That's a first. You have had so many stories. I would imagine that you would have had some alien experience.
Well, this isn't a well. I was waiting to say this. This isn't a personal story, but I suppose you know. Actually, yeah, it is. It directly affects everybody. Because I looked into it. You know how I mentioned before. How come everybody in the West is suffering exactly the same things?
In what way?
Like, the law being used against people. You're not allowed to speak out. Freedom of speech is being clamped down. The justice system's been weaponized. Illegal immigrants just going mental.
Yeah, so I think it's insane. So for the attack on our rights and the government being weaponized against Americans is unfortunately decades old problem. You know, I was just on IRL before this show, and I mentioned COINTELPRO when we were talking about this Arctic frost situation where our government has been caught spying on Republicans, as well as Charlie and TPUSA, which reminded me of COINTELPRO when they were secretly spying on Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and a whole bunch of people, which in my opinion led to those assassinations. I do think the government was involved in those assassinations. We still don't really have answers to those assassinations. So in terms of our privacy, our rights, our right to assemble, our freedom of speech, it's always been under attack because they hate dissident voices having any sort of platform, any sort of voice. So there's that. And what was the other one? The lawfare against us. And was that it? And like the constant lawfare like against Trump. That is something that we saw happening against Trump. But even before that, you know, I've been thinking about Alex Jones this weekend because he's been told he has to give up InfoWars. Again, it might actually happen this time. But when they went after Alex, this is kind of both these things put together, the lawfare and the freedom of speech. He was one of the first to be deplatformed. There was Milo also, but Alex was a really big one. They connected him to Sandy Hook. They made it almost seem like he was behind Sandy Hook. I know people who think he was the killer. I know people who don't even know who Adam Lanza is. And they're like, they just attach Alex's name, which is by design. So they do that because they don't want you asking questions. And if they can't kill you, which they certainly can, they'll set an example. And they can do that both ways. They can do that with killing you. They can also do it with lawfare and taking away your money, fighting you. Like I've mentioned on the show, I've done reporting on an FBI whistleblower. She called out unethical practices within the FBI. She loved her job, and she saw them going after good people, having these weird blips in the system that allowed people to go through background checks quicker than usual, which she believes could lead to something like a Butler, Pennsylvania situation, which is a whole other incompetent hellhole. But yeah, it's insane. It's been going on for a long time, and now the scarier part, I guess, now that we're all going through in terms of what you were saying, and people all kind of going through the same thing, is that during COVID, we saw the establishment effectively turn your neighbors, your family, your friends into authoritarians and weaponize that power. They could wield it against you because they lived in fear. And so the establishment outsourced all of that authority to people who supposedly loved you. And that's crazy. That's how, I don't know how we back out of that. You see the bloodlust that we're stuck in right now. And, those are the ramifications.
Well, I looked into it, and first of all, I would like, well, it's not really me, because it's actually Britain and the establishment, the ground-in establishment. We're talking about people from the establishment. We're talking about well over 100 years here. I don't know if Brandon could Google the Fabian Society.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at the Fabian Society and look at the very first picture and put it up so people in chat could see it as well, and tell me what you see.
All right, I hear clicking. We are pulling up.
Yeah,
the
it was established in the
FABIAN.
1800s.
Are you talking about the shield?
FAB what?
IAN.
Yeah, Fabian.
Yep.
It's a shield. The colours are red, yellow, black.
So what are you seeing? I know what I'm seeing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, not even good. The sheep is just draped over the very sinister-looking wolf.
Is that what we're looking at? This kind of crest thing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shows
Well,
people.
this is basically a socialist think tank that was established in the 1800s. Now, George Orwell was like a Labour guy, and he was a member of the Fabian Society, and he was so horrifically frightened by it, he actually left and wrote the 1984 book.
That's right. Yeah, he was a part of this, and he saw the dangers.
And the problem with the Fabian Society is the British Prime Minister's a member, the London Mayor's a member, 10 members of the British Cabinet are members. There's members in the United Nations, the IMF, the World Bank, the European Union Bank. They were actually members of the Fabian Society in the FBI, or America's Secret Service, before it was called the Secret Service. I think it was called the SS something or SC something.
Right.
Because I looked into it and I thought, holy shit, they're all the professors at universities. They're actually, some, depending on how old the university is, they were actually in there when they were starting the universities. Their ethos was, when they had that wolf in sheep's clothing, they then thought, that's not really good, because we're showing our hand here. The next icon that they did was a turtle, slow and steady, but infiltrate all the organisations and etc. And I thought it was just a British thing, but no, this bullshit goes worldwide, and it shocked the life out of me. Right through all the judiciary, the police. Britain's fucked anyway. I mean, it's nice when to hear you guys, being behind your police, because you do have good police. Majority you do.
Try.
In the UK, no, we don't. And I remember when I was a kid, when you were getting taught about history, World War I, World War II, and I says to my history teacher, how could the Nazis have hoodwinked so many people? How could they have done that? Well, we saw it in real time with COVID. Snitch on your neighbour.
Yep.
Families are falling out. You're losing your job. You can't leave the house. If you do leave the house, you're getting arrested. If you take your dog for a walk, you're getting arrested.
Yep.
And now Keir Starmer's bloody pushing through this digital ID, which Tony Blair's been banging on about. And here's me thinking, oh, Trump's okay. Sometimes Trump does stuff that makes me scratch my head. He is going to be putting Tony Blair into Gaza. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I question it too.
Oh, and also, he's a big Fabian guy as well.
How do you feel about the digital ID?
Oh, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. If I have to get arrested, that's just simple as. I'm one of those fortunate people. and I know a lot of people are in my situation. I'm debt-free. My house is paid,
Yep.
and I have a substantial amount of money in my bank. If I lost my job, because I'm not going to have a digital ID, I'm in a position where I can do that.
Do you
I know a
think?
lot of people aren't.
I was just going to ask. Do you think the people are going to reject that, or are they embracing it?
Well, of course they are. Well, I'll give you an example. I was out and I had to get a cab, and you know how just me, I could talk for Scotland. And I was blathering to the taxi driver because they're usually a good sort of barometer about what, because they speak to people, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
And so I was blathering to him about it, and he says, "Oh, I couldn't believe it. I had picked somebody up, and he's going on about the digital ID, and the taxi driver says, "Oh no, I'm not having it." And the guy went, "What have you to hide?" He's like, "Well, why do they need it? We've got our driver's license, we've got passports, bank accounts, they practically know bloody everything. What else? What do they need that for?" Now, the running thing that they're saying that they need this digital ID for, the first time around, Tony Blair was going, "Oh, you know, COVID, we need, for health and things like that, it consolidates everything, makes it easier." So that was bullshit. And then the next thing they've come up with now is, "Oh, it'll help with migrants." Well, I'm awfully sorry, but I'll take what you've said and we'll apply it with an American twist. We want everybody to hand over their guns so nobody gets killed. Well, it's the illegals that's the problem, or the criminals that's the problem here.
Yeah.
They
That's how they
think we're
always do it.
stupid. They think we're thick. We're going to be out on the streets here. I mean, not that long ago, this Muslim extremist killed 2 people and injured another 3 or 4 at a synagogue in London. And then a couple of days later, somebody set a mosque on fire. So really, we're on the edge here.
Yeah. It looks like it. I mean, it looks insane. It's
But
insane everywhere.
if anybody in chat, even you guys, if you look into that Fabian stuff, because it was, you know, how I said before, or go down a rabbit hole and you're like, "Oh Christ, what the hell's happened here?" This Fabian bullshit is in everything. Absolutely everything. And it even goes back, I mean, pockets of time in history, the Fabians are behind it. They were behind, what do you call it, the hippies, the 60s and the 70s. That's when the debauchery started, right? When they were showing their hand about the debauchery. It goes back further than that. On the BBC main building in London, there's a statue done by Eric Gill, and it's a statue of a man with a naked child in front of him, right? Now, the problem with this sculptor was he did bad things to his daughters. I'll let your imagination go there. He also did bad things to the family dog.
Sheesh.
And he was also a member of the Fabian Society.
Yep.
Now, one guy, I'll just say this one thing quick.
course.
One guy actually managed to steeplejack up to this stupid daft sculpture in front of the BBC of this honest to God, this guy that did the sculpture and the BBC. I mean, you couldn't make this up, you know. They're doing it all in front of our faces, and they think we don't know what's going on. Well, this guy went up to try and chip it down because of what it stood for and the fact it was a BBC. And obviously he got pulled down and arrested. They repaired that statue and they covered it in perspex so it wouldn't get damaged ever again.
Oh man, how are we in such an absurd world?
I mean, a thing like what was I saying? The European Union Bank is so clandestine, it's as bad as the Vatican Bank. It's one of those dark banks like the IMF and all the rest of it.
Yep. Yeah, we got to deal. I mean, we got to get rid of the Fed over here. I mean, the banks are controlling.
Oh, that was another thing the Fabians got involved with was Federal Bank.
Right.
I mean, this lot have been going on for the 1800s. I can't believe how much their tentacles are spreading into things.
Of course. And it's not just the Fabians. There's so many groups out there, you know, who want to subvert reality, subvert morality, subvert humanity, and slowly take over. You know, it made me think of what Yuri Bezmenov says that the KGB does to
God, yeah.
right, undermine a society. What is it? I'm pulling that up. The steps, the stages of collapsing a society: demoralization, destabilization, crisis, normalization, and we can get deeper into that at some other point. But you look at those. If you look at Yuri Bezmenov, if you haven't seen him talk about it, if you haven't looked it up, I highly suggest everyone doing it, because we are in. I would say normalization. Like we're maybe at the end of crisis into normalization. We also have talked about, like, after Charlie was assassinated, we talked about the actual turning points that people. There's some theories about that, where you're in these generational turnings, and which kind of you could fit into this, where we're going through violent change, creating desperation, pushing to the breaking point. Those are some of the moments within the crisis, and in normalization would be the new order, solidified control, cynical term. So in the normalization, it would be accepting the digital ID, accepting the surveillance state, which is kind of already here, but the digital ID would then marry the surveillance state and then bring about a monstrous social credit score. That's also kind of already here, but just think how easy that's going to be when you're plugged into everything and you've done something either online or in public that the people controlling all this deem to be bad, and done. Turn your car off, turn your bank off.
A simple thing like, say you guys go to the casino and you win big, say $10,000, and you put that into your bank account with this digital ID. Government, okay, what's that? Right, we need to tax that, or where'd you get that money from, or whatever, or you get a gift from somebody, say a great aunt writes, puts something in her will about you, and you get this. I don't need anybody to tell me, number one, what the hell I do with my money and how the hell I spend it. And they've also been doing in the UK as well as debanking people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nigel Farage, they debanked him,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and he was with the bank Coots, which is who the Queen was with.
Yep. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, there's been people who aren't like, they're influencers over here who aren't like even that massive, who are debanked for saying, for wrong think. Fuentes, Milo, Trump has maybe not Trump. I'm not sure about Trump. I'm just saying Kanye though. Alex Jones has been, he went through so many things after all the tech companies got together and said we're going to, basically blast him out of the internet. And then it wasn't just that; it was like, I think, like Airbnb and like software that his business was using.
Things like MasterCard and Visa,
mm-hmm.
they should be getting looked into and getting taken to court as well.
Yeah, but we bailed them out.
Even companies they don't agree or align with. Oh well, I'm sorry, but we'll just cut off that payment for you because we don't align with you.
Yep.
And you don't align with us.
Because it's always aimed at the people. I see Cisco in the chat. He says Canadian truckers. Exactly. They just hate the people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we let you go, I have to ask. Last week we saw news about a new creature that was spotted in the Loch Ness. Have you heard about that?
Yes. Yeah, I actually watched that episode. Yes, I did see that actually. But the thing is, you see, it didn't look like a man's hand sticking out of the water.
Yeah, I have my reservations.
But there are, and the thing that got me was the speed it was going, because sometimes they'll say, oh, it's logs, because, there's lots of trees around the loch,
mm-hmm.
and logs do fall in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact, get your thumbs down. But yeah, it looked like it was moving pretty fast.
It looked like it. That's what they were saying. And were you aware of this job to be a monster hunter on Loch Ness?
No, it didn't. I didn't,
Pays well.
Because I could have applied for that, could have done a live stream. It's live stream and connected to you and goes, oh, look, here we are.
Yeah, you're our lady on the ground in Scotland who could cover this stuff.
That's another thing I was going to say as well. Apparently, now I don't know if this is true or not. Brandon's very welcome to look it up. Scotland apparently is a hotspot for UFOs.
I've seen that.
And there's a triangle.
Yep. Yeah, people have seen out there the triangles out there a lot, and there's probably some military bases nearby. If I had to.
There's quite a few. There's two. There's Kinloss and Lossiemouth. There's an army base in Lookers. That used to be an RAF base, but the Kinloss and Lossiemouth, they're where you've got your Eurofighters and things like that.
Yep. Well, it is always a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you so much for calling in, and keep us
You're
posted.
very welcome.
Yep, we'll talk soon.
You guys have a great night.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Captain.
Awesome. Always a pleasure to hear from Catherine. Yeah, if you guys missed out last week, there's really, really good new footage from Loch Ness. It's not that good.
Yeah, I was in Arizona hitting the refresh button. I'm like, all right, let's get this. Let's get this. I'm ready to call BS.
It's somehow the worst footage ever.
It was terrible. So the original, everybody that's seen the original know that it looks like this.
That's right.
The depiction is basically, in my opinion, a guy swimming through a lake.
Yep.
Maybe it was Loch Ness. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just a lake. And he did this.
Yeah.
And the picture was so terrible that people actually believe that this is a dinosaur
Yep.
of some sort, or a massive water-like
A plesiosaur.
lizard creature.
Yep.
It's just a guy swimming. He's doing the forward stroke. You know, he's paddling. He's doggy paddling. That's all that's happening in that picture. I'm sorry. So anything that came after that is, of course, going to be BS because the original did not exist in the first place. I've said all I can say about this, but I digress. Shane, take the wheel.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was condescending to us to show us that video. And then I guess I was condescending to you guys for thinking you should see it.
Dude, I was in Arizona like, these motherfuckers did not do it again. And I looked and I was like, yep, they did it
They
again.
hate us. They hate us. They'll believe it. Just show them some ripples in the water and call it a monster. Unbelievable. Let's get to the next caller.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, share the show. We are going to jump to, who do we got? Renee has called back.
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble? Shame on me, Shane says, born a Hawkeye. What'd I do? Oh, showing you guys the footage. I'm so
Renee.
sorry. I repent.
I can't believe I have to tell you this, but Renee, I need you to unmute your mic.
Oh, my goodness.
She probably just did it because she was in here for a little bit, I think, but...
No, I was trying to find my remote. It's dark. All right, sorry. So,
Everybody's got a drink because of you now. How did you let that happen?
okay. I'm about to have a panic attack. Relax. Okay.
All right.
So hold on.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
So my voice is kind of fucked up because last night I can't send the video in because my daughter was in her underwear. Okay, or I would. Last night, my daughter goes to shut the closet door. And then as soon as she takes her hand off of the door, there's a massive bang on that door. She comes running in my room, screaming, right? So I start flipping the fuck out. I'm looking up what prayers to say. Psalm 31. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Get out of my house, get out of my house, get out of my house. I told you guys, my daughter sees these things. She said, I feel like he's standing there laughing at you. I see him standing there. She said, my daughter is telling me this. I see him standing behind the cupboard. You guys have seen my house. And I'm going to clarify that in a second. Hold on. So she says, I see him. I'm literally shaking. So she says, I see his arm and fucking glowing yellow eyes. Okay? I called the church last week. I talked to this guy, this father, and I said, this is what's going on. So he said he's going to talk to somebody from the diocese, and then he's going to call me back. So this just happened yesterday. So today I called and I talked to the secretary and I said, look, this is what's going on. I told her about the holy water that dried red. I said, I don't believe in these things, but they were given to me. I have the crystals. I've done the sage. I read the Bible every single day. I listen to the Bible on my TV every single night to go to sleep. So it's always playing. I don't do tarot cards or astrology or numerology anymore because it's divination. I don't believe in that crap, but I've tried everything. The last caller last week that guy, I'm literally fucking shaking. Okay, the guy called and
Breathe,
said
Renee.
that he had suggestions for me to spend more time with God. I do. My father died. He dropped dead from a heart attack. I'm sorry. I'm not like I'm coming back to God, okay? So I'm trying. Oh my God. So I was having a conversation last week, and I want to clarify things. My camera in the kitchen is not pointed directly at that cabinet thing. That is my whole house. That's it. I got the cameras for 2 reasons. So that way, when I leave, I can monitor my kids. And then also because of the activity in the house. I don't want to start a YouTube channel because I don't want to be famous. I don't care. I never meant to I mean, yeah, I sent them on there. So I'm not saying like, oh, I didn't mean for them to be on there and all this stuff and whatever. That's not what I'm saying. My camera footage was never meant for anybody else to see. The only reason why I posted it was because this show is so fucking great and cool. And I found some really cool friends and like all this stuff. So we're having this community. I have ghosts. Look, this is what's going on, you know? So it's not like I'm like setting up the camera. Like it's okay. So, in the last video I sent, I'm walking into the house. You can't see me walking, but that's my whole house.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. So it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, directly there, you know? So if you come into my house, then I can see you on the camera, or if you leave, I can watch you, you know? This isn't like, and okay, I'm not like calling anybody out or anything like that. But so we were in PCC chat the other day talking about Brett coming on to Inverted. So Brett was like, I don't know what I would say. So we're like, oh, just talk shit, you know, whatever. So, but like, this isn't fake. Like, this is real. I wish it wasn't. I don't know what to do. I was just downstairs. The chat got posted early, so I come in and hang out with everybody. I was downstairs. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm in the freaking chat. My daughter is standing behind me, and we're talking to my neighbor, who you guys saw in the camera. And I have another thing about her too. So, just quick. So my daughter was talking about how she said, I don't see ghosts like for a long time. And then I'm talking to Mesa, my neighbor, and my daughter's like, there's a man that's gray and dead skin with a weird, creepy smile on his face. Like, this is not like, oh, I'm just fucking crazy. It's not the weed. My daughter doesn't do drugs. Mesa does not do drugs. She's never smoked pot. She doesn't drink. She can't even handle a shot of whiskey. She can't. It's crazy. So she doesn't do it. So it's not the weed, because yes, like maybe I've opened myself up because I do drugs. I smoke pot. Big fucking deal. It's not that. Like, my 9-year-old saw a man with snakes in his hair. I don't know what to do. Like,
so all right, let's take a breather.
Yeah, take a breath. Renee.
First of all, I mean, it sounds like you're going through some. It's wild stuff. We've talked about it.
I've been crying literally all day because I'm like, well, what the hell do I do? Like, I've tried everything, the sage. I have stupid crystals. I've screamed. I lost my voice screaming the Archangel Michael protection prayer. And my daughter's like, I feel like he's laughing at you. She calls him Charles. And what the hell? I told the secretary lady again today, I did not take a picture of it. I don't know why, but I swear to God, on everything, the holy water dried red. What the hell is that about?
Let's pause for a second.
In through your nose, out through your mouth.
First of all, I'm going to ask everyone.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm going to ask everyone to pray for you. Everyone out there, Renee needs some prayer. And I know you're trying, Renee, with prayer and reading the Psalms, and that's great. And I'm glad that you reached out to the church. You know, I don't believe in the crystals or any of that stuff. I think, you know, this is a evil that you're dealing with. And when it comes to your daughter, does this happen anywhere else, or is it just in the house?
She sees ghosts all the time.
Okay, so like leaving.
Couple weeks ago, she was with my ex-mother-in-law. My ex's my daughter's grandmother. Mm-hmm. So my youngest grandmother. Okay, so my oldest is the one that sees them. Okay, different dads, whatever. Okay, so my oldest was at the cemetery and saw a man who was standing there 2 graves away. They were cleaning family graves. Mm-hmm. and he was one grave away. I'm sorry, she just said one grave away, and he's standing there with a black long sleeve shirt, a tie, black pants, black dress shoes, and like a buzz cut. And she said he was young. They go back there the other week, just the other day, on Friday to clean the grave. He died. He was 34 years old. They didn't know that.
So, because I'm asking about that because it's not like this is a house situation. It seems like like you said with your daughter, she sees these things. It happens a lot of other places. Does your daughter take the religious aspect seriously?
No, she thinks it's a joke.
Okay, because that, in my opinion, it would help. I'm
trying to get her into it. We watch God Speak on YouTube because I have anxiety, so we don't leave the house really. So we watched God Speak, and I was teaching her because I've never brought them to church before. So I'm like, Charlie Kirk, let's go to what we've been watching God Speak every single Sunday since that. But my city, Schenectady, is like fucked up. Like it's we had the massacre in 1690 where the Indians came down the Mohawk River, stood at people's doors, was like yeah, and then kidnapped people and was like bringing them down. And the only reason why they got out was because these women and children had dresses on, and it was like February. And this where my house is was farmland.
Right.
And I'm gonna go because I'm shaking, but so I was talking to Grok about family history, and my great grandfather on my mother's side was part of the 42nd Infantry Rainbow Division that helped take down Dachau.
Wow.
So that was cool. Yeah, my grandmother had the Nazi flag from all the people signed it, so that was pretty cool. But yeah.
So I would try to impress upon you to somehow get your daughter into this, because it seems like a lot of the stuff is stuff she's seeing, and if it's scaring her, if this is evil, I think
I'm sorry.
That's gonna be your best
So she
bet.
just turned 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after this happened, she shut the closet door. She went to go she was gonna shut the closet, and then she was gonna go into the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's 18. She comes running in my room, and she won't even go in the bathroom without me in there. So I'm standing there in the bathroom with her. Imagine that. This isn't a joke. Like, this isn't fake. I'm not saying you guys are saying that, but like, I'm not talking shit or whatever.
Well,
everybody talks shit in the chat.
Don't worry about that.
This is real. Like, I wish it was.
Renee.
Nobody's on any medications or nothing.
Renee, don't.
Like,
if you're,
I'm not fucking crazy.
I
am, but no.
Well, we all are. Don't worry about what people. Don't worry about criticism. If you're dealing with this, you got to figure out a way to fix it. And there is a way to fix it. My opinion, that's Christ. Your daughter's going to have to need that. Is going to need Christ. You're going to have to pray. You're going to have to really believe. I don't believe in the witchcraft. I don't believe in crystals. I don't believe in sage. I think that is Christ is the only way through this. And you bring about his name and you rebuke this evil. You've done the part of reaching out to the church. I hope they come out and help. This is like, I believe in evil, and it sounds like you're experiencing something.
I don't know what to do, and I don't know why I downloaded that app on my phone, the Ghost Box. But you heard when I said, "Hey, like, no, this house is blessed by Jesus. Like, get the hell out." And they're like, "Oh, try me," and I'm like, "No, no, get out. Like, you're not welcome here." So
what? So the church said what? You're waiting now for them to come out?
Yeah, Father Jim said that he was going to call somebody from the diocese and that he would get back to me. And that was like last week. So I called today and I was like, look, I know that these things take time, but this is my life and these are my kids. And this is really serious. And I'm not like, I'm not looking for clicks or likes or follows or views. I don't give a shit. Like I just really genuinely I need help. So I'm calling the show. Like, what the hell do I do?
Renee,
besides Jesus? Because clearly yelling, I lost my voice. Oh, and when I was in the bathroom with my daughter, I'm trying not to watch her go to the bathroom. So I'm looking at myself in the mirror, realizing that I'm tasting blood in my throat because I'm screaming so loud. Get the hell out.
Can I put you in contact with someone?
Yes, please. That'd be great.
I'm gonna make a note.
Oh, Oh, hold on. So I'm sorry, Shane. I'm so sorry. So another thing was, so maybe it is because my neighbor is Muslim, right? So we've been in this apartment for 8 years. My neighbors have been down there for 7 years, right? So he got married to Mesa, who is Muslim, who is from Jordan, 5 years ago. This activity was going on before. They are Christian. The ones that were here, the man and his parents who were here for 7 years are Christian. So I don't think it's like maybe it came from Jordan. I don't know.
All right,
Or
so
maybe it's just attached to the land because this place is crazy.
you need to take a breather. I know that's going to be a hard thing to do. Maybe find some tea, and you got to pray. The Psalms are great. Use the Psalms as a great starting point. I sent you a message about your email. Send me back a message with your email, and
Okay.
I'm going to try to hook you up with someone, and I think they could help you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Just one last thing. So
Yeah.
I will send you. I was reading on Google Archives about Vincent Schaefer. I've told you about him before. He was part of the one for cloud seeding here in Schenectady at GE, which is still functioning today.
Yep.
And so there's all this stuff from like I think it was from Chicago Press from like the 70s and the 50s and stuff mentioning him. So I'll send that over to you. That's cool shit.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
so
he
cool.
worked. He worked with Kurt Vonnegut's brother.
Yeah, and it's right here in my city.
Yep.
I showed you.
Yep. Cloud
man.
seeding started in your city. So, all right,
Yeah.
Renee, I'm praying for you. I hope everyone out there is going to say a prayer. Hit me up. I will link you up with someone, and we'll see where that goes.
All right. I'm sorry for taking up so much time.
Don't be
Have
sorry.
a good day, and I will see y'all in the chat. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right. Everyone say a prayer. There's dark forces. There are dark forces in the world.
Guys, show Renee some love in the chat. She's going through it. That was
It's wild. I've seen crazy stuff out
I
there.
mean, I'd be freaked out too if this was the kind of stuff
Yeah.
that was happening in my house.
I think she's
but
moving in the right direction.
I don't think she mentioned she doesn't leave the house, and I'm like, I wouldn't be there half the time if this was the kind of stuff that was happening in my crib. So maybe you need to get out of the house a little more.
It unfortunately
kids and
sounds
get the
like
hell out of
it
there.
happens to the daughter, not just in the house. That it's going to have to be, the daughter's going to need to have a. in my
Well, I
opinion,
mean,
come
if
to
this
Jesus
is something
moment.
that's actually following her kid around, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's going to have to be
she's-
some kind of intervention somewhere.
She said that her daughter's. I think she puts it between worlds, right?
Well, I don't know if
So-
if that ties directly to this. It's like this kid sees dead people, like
Right.
the whole Bruce Willis
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
or if this is essentially just like kids can see through the veil, and eventually it goes away.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Definitely. Well,
Crazy.
I hope Renee hits me up. Hopefully we can get some help there, some help from people who have done similar things to help eradicate the evil.
Yeah. If you are
from-
still listening, woman, you need to calm down though. Go and get some air.
Yo, chamomile.
Breathe. Drink some tea, like he said. You need to catch up. Do not let your emotions control
Chamomile.
you.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Let's go to. I think Chris Quinn is next.
And Renee, you got to get the good chamomile, the kind that's loose, and put it in one of those little tea bags, not the chamomile from the supermarkets that's got poison.
Yeah, not that bullshit.
Yeah,
no.
find that good stuff, the good. You got. I mean, you got to find certain stores, but that's the good
Chris,
stuff.
are you here?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. So Renee, I think she and her daughters need baptism and a priest to come bless their house.
Yeah, I would say that's a huge step in the right direction, the best step in the right direction. I'm hoping the church reaches back out and figures that out. I think that's the only way to heal this.
But anyways, my primary call was about the last caller last week who was concerned about everything he prayed aloud was being turned against him and used against him for leverage.
Right.
It seemed like in his eyes, and so that made him upset. So it's kind of on the same topic.
Yeah, for sure.
But that made me think about speaking in tongues. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I had some friends. I have some friends who do it.
Yeah, so I was raised Catholic, so it wasn't really part of our what are they even catechism
Right.
and such.
It's like a
But I was also exposed
Pentecostals
to
or 7 Day
some
Adventists. Yeah.
Pentecostals that it was common practice in the Pentecostal church.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually learned to speak in tongues at a um, youth convention where we went and saw Skillet in concert and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then everybody was encouraged to learn to speak in tongues. And to an outsider, it seems like you're just speaking gibberish, and in a sense, you kind of are. But there's a lot of power putting your voice to your prayers, and a lot of people are uncomfortable using words that other people can overhear. But as you and I both believe, God can hear what's in your heart and in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
In Catholicism, we even one of our kind of ritualistic prayers, where we say in our hearts, in our words, and in our minds, right? And we use the cross over our heart and over our lips and over our foreheads, and because you're trying to combine all of those into your prayer.
Right.
So it takes a lot of humility and a lot of courage and a lot of faith to believe that praying aloud and just speaking gibberish, as ridiculous as that seems, is speaking tongues, and understanding that that's what you're doing, is that God can understand you, and anyone can speak tongues, I believe. And just know that that gibberish is not gibberish, it's tongues. And the reason is that you're putting your thoughts and your prayers that you've internalized, you're putting your voice behind it to make them more powerful.
Yeah. I've not done that. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I have, like I said, friends who do it, and I believe it's genuine, but then I've also seen people do it and I believe it's performative. Who am I to judge though? Because I don't know what their hearts are. That's just from the outside looking in.
I can see what you mean about it being performative, because there are some people who can preach in English and be performative. They don't really believe. And I think that there's a lot of times that even with like Catholic prayers, they're very ritualistic.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not be believing the words that you're saying at the time that you're saying them. But the point of those rituals isn't necessarily that everybody's in the same mind space and faith at the same time, but it's when you're in your darkest places where you need that comfort, those words will come back to you and you will feel that guidance.
Right. And so do you believe that whether it's gibberish or whether it's, some people be like, that's just gibberish and it's not real. And like, I've heard that from Catholics who talk about the Pentecostals I know who do it. And I've heard, like I said, sometimes it's performative, but whatever anyone thinks about it, or you think about it, do you think that vocalizing prayer, saying words or speaking in tongues has a power to it that helps shape your heart and getting the prayer out?
I feel that putting your voice behind prayer has more power to it than an internalized prayer, even if the sentiment behind it is the same. It has a much more powerful force over your own body, because putting your voice behind it, whether it's words in English that you're or in gibberish, it doesn't matter. The point is that you're using your vocal cords to empower that prayer. And God will understand it, whether it comes out in gibberish or comes out in English.
Yeah.
So if you're uncomfortable with, say, a demon understanding what the hell you're saying that you can't see, but you believe is there, or if you're uncomfortable with the person next to you knowing that you're praying for them specifically, even though you don't want them to know that you're trying to pray aloud for their problem because you don't want to embarrass them, that could be a reason to speak in tongues. And then there's people that, might be performative. That's true. You can't, but they could just as easily be doing those performative prayers in English.
Yeah, and I do like praying out loud, and I make my family do it. My children do it. I think it's very important. But I will also say that some of the loudest prayers I've said have been not spoken. If that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I've had prayers that I don't say out loud. That
But you
almost
pray
like
them
they're-
the hardest.
Almost feel like it's a megaphone from within, sort of like how a baptism is like an outward expression of something that's a massive change from the inside. Like it's a representation of a massive change that's happened inside of you. And you know, baptisms are important, and I'm glad we did that. You know, but there's something I think about the quiet and strong prayer, but also I learned to pray better, and I learned to be more confident in my prayers by saying them out loud. So I'm just saying I love both. You know, I don't know if one's better than the other, in my opinion, but I love both, and I've also seen that my kids are learning to pray better, whatever that even means, you know, because I think there's no wrong way to pray, but at least I think what I'm saying is they're becoming more confident with praying and expressing their faith out loud, and that saying it out loud really helps, especially if there's you know if someone comes over for dinner and they don't believe, we're still saying prayer. And I know for the kids sometimes it's a little awkward. They're like, oh, I don't know if this person like believes this is weird or whatever, but you know, you gotta do it. This is what we do. And I think it's good for the kids to see that, especially when it's out loud.
Yep. Some people are shy about that, about being judged by the people that are listening to them.
Got it.
And
just gotta do it.
yeah, but I feel like being able to speak in tongues, there's a lot of humility with speaking in tongues, I believe. Once you get past that and can use that as a talent that you can do, it does open up a lot for you, because it removes that barrier of, well, this is uncomfortable for everyone, but I'm comfortable with this because I don't have to share what I'm praying aloud with the people around me. I'm sharing it with God, and that's who it's meant for.
Yeah. And it's also sort of taboo in some churches. You know, there's like, this is a thing that lots of churches discuss, you know, different denominations, whether they.
It makes people uncomfortable, but I feel like people that are uncomfortable with somebody praying and you can't understand the words they're doing, it's something wrong with that person, not wrong with you. Right.
Yeah. The friends I have who've done it, I will admit, like, it was like, oh, that's strange, but this is all still fairly new to me. But
But it doesn't upset you.
Oh,
but
no.
Somebody who's like possessed or something might be pretty pissed about it.
Right. And I've also, through the people I know personally, for them, it's genuine. And they are being moved by the Spirit, and they believe that. But like, I know these people who go to churches, and the churches say, we don't like, I don't know what the word is. It's not like they don't accept it, but maybe it's frowned upon. I don't know. You know, like they just like, we don't do that in this church. And so it's like, it's an interesting debate.
I can understand, because it makes some people uncomfortable. And so the church might not want that done in public prayer.
But then you look at, like, I think it's Timothy 2, they talk about what you do with your hands in church. I mean, people can debate every possible thing you do in a church.
Yeah, exactly. Some churches are very lively and some churches are very not lively. Go to a Catholic mass and you'll understand.
Yeah. Contrast that with a Baptist church, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
In Georgia. It's a little different.
I mean, very different, but I believe both environments are genuine, at least.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. There can be people who are obviously manipulative. They're not doing it. It's performative. But I think you're
going to find that anywhere, yeah.
In anything, even the people who are just, like you said, speaking in English and doing it, you know, in a suit up there. Those people, you know, we've seen insane
raking in hundreds of millions of dollars on live television.
They got jets and all types of stuff. But I love that, and thanks for calling in, man. That's a great thing to think about.
Have a great night.
You too, man. Awesome. All right. What do we got next, Brandon?
I don't know. I had so many like interjections that I just held back during that call because I'm like, I'm not an authority on any of this shit, so I shouldn't really be speaking to it. But I was under the impression that no matter what voice you used, internal or external, God would understand you.
Yeah.
And I don't see why there would be a level of extremism to how well you're praying as to whether or not your prayers are heard, because God hears all.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I mean, are we, you know, I get it. You're using more energy. I get it.
Have you seen what speaking in tongues looks like or sounds like?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Multiple times.
Right. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot, like you said, where it's a performance act.
Right.
There's some people that actually believe this stuff, and that's fine. Whatever you believe, that's cool. Not here to knock it. Never going to do that. will totally listen to your side and try to examine every possible outcome that I have, you know, in my brain for why I don't think these things or do think these things exist. And this is one of those things where I don't think it should matter.
No, you're right.
You know, if a guy has his tongue cut out, you trying to tell me that he can't, he's
Right.
your prayers are only going to be at 75%.
God believes God knows your heart. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I don't think you need to speak out loud to him.
Yeah.
Again, I am not the authority. But
we'll get you there.
I was
We'll get you there.
I was under the impression that you didn't have to do that. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And I don't think that people it's an uncomfortability thing when people hear this. I think it's just that people think it's fucking weird. And it's just because it's not a societal norm. You're not going to walk down the street and hear some guy and you're like, okay, you know, that guy's
Right.
out of his
You got
mind.
Brandon speaking in tongues. What
Like,
episode
you know,
is this?
come on. And no, that was not.
118.
All I did was hear that
Brandon
Incubus
is-
album. That's all that was. That's all I know. But you guys get where I'm going with this, you know? So, you know, it is what it is. Do what you're going to do. Pray to your God however you want to. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Prayer's good.
move
I
on.
also write prayers. That's how I started. When I started taking it seriously, I was writing down prayer but that's just what I know. You know, I understand to the best of my ability, as retarded as I am. I like to write things down, and that helped me. And then I can move to saying it out loud. And then I got better at doing it just, you know, in my heart and mind, and amplifying that.
Yeah,
to
one could
God.
even say that writing it down is powerful.
That's how I felt.
Because you're putting it into writing.
Yeah.
That's what everybody used to do back in the day.
Yep.
You know, like, I don't know. So many angles there.
We are solving so many problems today on this show. I mean, who knows? Is Joe Exotic pardoned yet? Like, did we move
Oh
that?
yeah, no, I actually meant to look into that.
Joe Exotic.
I'm
pardoned.
waiting for
Dude, I
news
hope
that
he gets
Donald J.
pardoned.
Trump has he heard the 47 call from my Charlie Kirk hat,
Yes.
and he turned on the show just in time to see that Joe Exotic was asking for a
Guys,
pardon.
His presidential campaign was incredible. It was like we had Kanye, we had Joe Exotic. Good times. This country's great.
Where are we at? 11:36. Okay, so let's go to.
And
What do we have
America
in here
is a
next?
zoo, so it makes sense that a zookeeper should be president. I hope he runs again.
I think we got Candy RK up next.
Yeah, for those who weren't here, in the very beginning, for the first 15 minutes of this episode, Joe Exotic, the star of Tiger King, called in from federal prison. People could hear it okay?
We were reminded multiple times. I mean, I don't know. I heard it was hard to hear. That's why I was like, hey, we're
Sorry.
just going to have to get this in here. We could have done it through Zoom, but we couldn't because we had to transfer information to Joe Exotic for him to join the meeting. So we just had to stick the phone in the mic the old school way.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys heard it. But
And hopefully he gets pardoned and we'll have him in the studio.
Candy RK, you're back on the show. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Oh, we're doing it.
Hanging
making
in
it.
there. What's going on tonight?
After listening to Renee, I before even Shane said was like, guys, got to pray. I was like praying for her because man, that's intense.
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark. I think prayer is very powerful.
Yeah, it actually brought me to tears because I felt like she really needed that help.
Yeah, I think.
So I hope that you can help her or whoever can will be able to, or maybe whatever she's got to do can help her. But
Yep. Yeah, I'm hoping to connect her with the right people, and hopefully she has other help that's there in person as well. But Renee, we want the best for you guys.
We're going to get you sorted out, girl.
It's brutal. There's so much darkness out there. And like I'm seeing so much darkness. I don't know out by you, Candy, but out here, I don't like, it was a week ago I talked about the amount of car accidents I'm seeing and the rage I'm seeing everywhere. It was the next Monday morning after me saying the car accident thing, I had some guy who was like ready to kill me on the road because I wouldn't run a red light. Literally. I was at a red light and this guy's outside of his car. Da, da, da. I'm like, dude, what do you want me? I got my kids in the back. I'm not going to do that. And he was furious. People are on edge. Darkness is
I
widespread.
flip people off that run red lights.
Yeah, I like to give them the thumbs up. I like to really trick them, with
Good for
emotions.
you.
It's weird because if my wife is in the car with me, she will give them the middle finger. I will give them the thumbs up, and they're very confused at What's going on? She's been working on the middle finger situation, but it's hard to take.
Is that like me when I go through like a toll gate and I don't have like my iPass and I'm like,
yeah.
in every picture like ever they have of me, they have my license plate and then they have that.
Yeah, this guy's a real jerk. Well, what's going on?
My windows are dark, so people can't really see me flipping them off. So that's good.
Nice.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could stick my hand out the window, but then there might be some kind of gunfight or whatever. So
we don't want that.
Exactly. But I think I'm actually going to ask you what I've been wanting to ask you since the first time I called in.
All right.
October 1 in Las Vegas, the shooting. What are your thoughts on that?
October 1, like the Vegas shooting?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have any answers. We don't have any answers.
The official narrative I know is not real.
Let's just disregard that.
Based on being here when it happened.
I think it's weird that was it the police chief who was also the police chief in Maui when it burned down?
No, he wasn't the police chief. The chief was now the governor here.
Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about though? The guy, one of the guys
Yes. He left from that after that incident to Maui. And then shortly thereafter, Maui happened.
Yeah. There's someone, I think it's, I want to say John Cullen, Project Mayhem I got him on my list. Project Mayhem, I believe you're the one who tagged me in his stuff. And I think it's Cullen who has talked about this the most. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But I do have someone out there on my list who talks about that a lot. And I'd like to bring them on because it's just one of those stories that the official narrative doesn't make any sense. We never really got other answers.
Yeah.
And it's, I believe in a lot of false flags, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think unfortunately a lot of these very violent events that happen and are immediately politicized, I think they're somehow born out of some secret operations. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't know if that means that it's actually a federal agent doing it, but I do believe that they play a hand in it. They could be on the other side of the screen radicalizing someone. They could be supplying someone, funding someone. I mean, Anna Plano Luna was on Danny Jones' show today or yesterday talking about how she thinks there's a billionaire funder connected with the Chinese that are somehow involved in Charlie's assassination. So we've had BX on here talking about feds helping to radicalize these cults online like 09A and 764. So I don't know. There was a lot of shooting and a lot of death that happened really quick, and it's horrifying. And it's really horrifying to even consider that there's something else outside of the official narrative, because I think a lot of people find some sort of calm in believing that it's just a monster who took this down, who did this horrible crime, because it's kind of easier to be like, oh, another monster off the street.
We don't have to think about that anymore.
But, I unfortunately think the monster, there's a many-headed monster out there that's very well funded and has deep ties to the government. Like I brought up COINTELPRO with Catherine, like that's insane. They were literally harassing people like MLK, like Malcolm X, sending them suicide notes, telling them they should kill themselves, sending things to the family members. We talked about, COINTELPRO eventually led us to the heart attack guns, these assassinations. So this is just a roundabout way of me saying I don't really know what I feel about the October 1st shooting, other than that I don't believe the official story. And I know there's something else involved with the guy's brother, right, who I think was arrested for child porn. Do you know that story?
Yep, there was nothing ever against him at all until he spoke out about his brother, and then all of a sudden they found a bunch of child porn on his computer. Which
then people were connecting recently to that George Zinn character who was that decoy at Charlie's assassination, who said, shoot me, I'm the guy, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Who's obviously, or who's also been like oddly at all these different events and had connections to all these things, and he's also on, I think it's Phil Lyman's website with like a positive note of what he thinks about Phil Lyman, which is one of the guys who was a gubernatorial candidate out there. It's weird, but anyway, that's all to say that he was then arrested for also child porn. It's like, so that's people are making those parallels. It's bizarre. I hope we get answers. I just look at how long it's been since JFK, and they released 50,000 files at least, and those don't have answers. I don't think they record answers.
We can kind of compilate what we think, but
I don't think we'll have answers. That's the problem. I hope we don't have to wait decades to find out about Charlie. but certainly the official narrative stinks. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Absolutely.
And so I would like to try to find this guy, if I'm thinking of the right person, and get him on to walk us through that. Because there are, through that story, from what I know, you can connect it to so many other false flags that we believe may or may not have been false flags. And I always talk about Italy, 30 years of lead, NATO possibly being involved, political false flags from the far left and the far right, not necessarily being done by the actual people, but carried out by bad actors who wanted to keep the violence going. And that included kidnappings, assassinations, bombings, and it went on for a really long time. It's wild. So it's like, when I say false flags, I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. It's not just crazy talk. It's not conspiracy theory. There's legit long history of this stuff happening. And I guess that's where my heart is when it comes to the Vegas thing. And it's only because the lack of transparency and the official story making no sense. Like so many of these other chaotic events. It's like, why did they have to go after Alex Jones so hard for questioning Sandy Hook, which he hardly really did. He was getting people calling in. They had questions. He entertained those questions. He should never have apologized, in my opinion, but I've never been under that pressure. I mean, they sued him for $1 billion and he lost. And now he might have to give up his whole company, which is insane. But there's a reason they don't want you to ask those questions. And now they're going to do it to Candace. It's only a matter of time before people are starting to say, we got to censor her, which is insane. She has every right to say anything she wants, whether you like it or not. It might seem ghoulish to some, like it seemed ghoulish for Alex to say what he said to some. And it's unfortunate to have to think those things. But like I said, there's a long history of this stuff, and we kind of have to think about it, especially when the official story doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you.
That's okay. I was curious what your thoughts were.
What do you think?
Obviously I don't believe the official narrative. There's too many strange coincidences. I know you love that word.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I don't think that they're coincidences.
Right, of course.
The worst thing that I saw when that was like during that year was that the police chief was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. And I was like, what? What do you mean you don't want to? Like you said that on live news. Like, okay.
Yes.
So now we know that whatever you're saying is bullshit.
Yeah, whenever they're cagey like that, it's not good. It's not good.
Las Vegas and Nevada have been corrupt for a very long time. And people don't see that or care because there's only 4 million people basically in the entire state, maybe 5.
Right. I mean, it might not help that the mob helped create it.
I mean, maybe they helped or maybe they were trying to stop it. I don't know. True.
I mean, our government also absorbed the mob or became the mob or was controlled by the mob.
It changed. It totally changed. Like when my mom worked on the strip her whole life and she watched it go from where it was in the mob to what it is now.
Right. And the mob probably kept it cleaner.
Oh yeah. There was nothing. Like they still the police try to do that on the strip. Like you don't see as much crazy stuff unless people are, I don't know if you heard about that YouTuber guy that shot the other guy in the face, but
that's
not a common occurrence anymore, but it was always like that back then too.
Right. Yeah. Vegas is an interesting place. I was there a long time ago and I was there recently too. I was there 2 Aprils.
You're there during Face Eater.
I was there during Face Eater. I was like, oh wow, this place is wonderful. 7-Elevens, you can go eat someone's face. Wonderful. But it was too windy and I could hardly walk around.
I hate it.
It was.
They named Chicago the Windy City. They should have named it here.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
And for a different reason, obviously.
Yeah, I went there.
In fairness, it does actually get really windy there.
Yeah.
It's crazy how windy it gets there. Yeah,
it was wild. Actually. I was there to see a festival because I was going to write a story on the artist MIA, and I
love her.
She's great. And right as everything was going to go down, they were like canceled. It was supposed to be her, Lil Wayne, and like the Backstreet Boys or something. But yeah, bizarre. But yeah, they shut the whole thing down, and everyone was starting to think maybe this is like a fire festival. They thought it was all fake. That it was like a scam. The whole fest was a scam. And I thought there was going to be like a mutiny in the hotels. But yeah, it was wild out there. It's always interesting. But I will. I'm gonna thank you for reminding me about this. I want to know more about it and talk to this guy. I'll look him up. I believe it's Project Mayhem who hooked me up with that, and I've written it down in my notes. And at some point, we'll get him on. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, if I could make something a little bit lighthearted,
Please.
I'm kind of a dork. I love like history and geology and stuff. And right, you know where Death Valley is? It's right outside of Nevada in California.
Yep.
So the lowest point in the contiguous United States is in Death Valley. It's like 200 feet below sea level or whatever. I might be wrong on the numbers, but it's something very drastic. Like it shouldn't exist.
Right.
And then just I think 50 miles away is the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States, which is 14,000 feet.
That's hilarious.
And dead set in the middle is a place called Cerro Gordo, which was it's called Fat Hill, basically. They found all the gold that funded Los Angeles.
Really?
And there actually used to be a lake right next to it and a river that they steamboated that shit down to LA.
Whoa. Is this a new development?
It's not new. Like I actually went to it. It's called Cerro Gordo in 2018, I think. I might be off on the year, but the next year, the hotel that had been there for however many years, like 100 years almost, burned down.
Dang.
Yeah. But this place literally pulled out all the gold that funded just LA, like
Wow.
just that little spot in the entire country.
Who got it? The feds got it, right?
Well, it was used to build the whole city because it was in the early 1900s.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So I think, again, I might be wrong on my years. Normally, I'm pretty good at that, but I can't remember like the actual years. But it pretty much just died out in like the 30s, and it was one of the most lawless towns in the entire country because nobody would go up there. It's 8,000 feet from the bottom of the mountain to the top. And they were like, we're not going up there. So everyone just dealt with their shit the way they wanted to.
Nice. The good old American way.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Awesome.
The last frontier, you know?
Yep. Well, there's also space if you believe in it.
I don't know about that one yet.
Nice. All right, we'll get you there. Awesome. Well, always good to hear from you. Thanks for calling in. And we'll talk again.
Thanks for having me back on, guys.
Of course.
Have a good night.
Good night.
And you too.
She reminded me of a story when I was doing the Georgia book about the Confederate gold. At the same time, there were guys in Pennsylvania who they were like gold hunters, treasure hunters, and they found gold, and they like cordoned off this whole area, and they went back to do the digging. This has been a few years, so I'm not sure if I got the timeline right. From what I remember, they went back to do the digging, and the feds actually got there first and took all the gold. Like literally dug it up, and they were like, "This is ours now."
Hell yeah.
And I think they're suing. Last I saw, I'm looking at that story. But yeah, they want their gold for themselves. So it's 11:52, or I think. Yeah, let's see what other stories we had before we go. 'Cause we don't have enough time.
Oh, we got a super chat in here.
Oh yeah, let's see if I missed anything.
It's about a shooting in Montgomery.
Oh no.
It's from Stacy. It says there was a mass shooting in Montgomery, Alabama yesterday. 14 shot, 2 dead, a woman and child. Were the 2 killed? Suspect not caught after event. No updates. I've not heard about this on any news or podcast.
Sheesh. Haven't heard about it either.
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of it too.
Yep.
Let's
Here we go.
see what we got.
Latest updates. Teen and woman killed, 12 others injured in Montgomery mass shooting. 2 people are dead, including a teen, and a dozen other people are injured following a mass shooting in downtown Montgomery late Saturday night. Montgomery police said it happened near Bibb Street and Commerce Street around 11:30 p.m. when 2 groups began shooting at each other in the middle of a crowd. So is this gang stuff? Well, the latest updates are Jeremiah Morris, 17, and Shalonda Williams, 43, were killed in the shooting. They are believed to be Montgomery residents. Oh,
Anybody
man.
else not see this in their news feeds today?
Nope. That's terrible.
I admit I wasn't exactly looking very hard through mine today.
The guy Morgan, who was on IRL tonight, was from Alabama, I believe, and he referenced a mass shooting, but I don't think it was this one. He referenced one that happened in the last few years, I think. So
This stuff's been
Interesting.
up for 12, 13 hours now.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm seeing or hearing of it, so it's interesting.
terrible. There's been so many. I mean, think of all the ones we've talked about on this show that we've already forgot. Jeremy Harbin said Shane, the guy on IRL, mentioned on the show earlier. Okay. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if he mentioned another one or if it was this one. But it might have been this one, I guess. Horrible.
It's just weird how when things don't fit a certain narrative, they just get overlooked.
Yeah. And even when they do fit a certain narrative, it's so crazy right now. Like, dude, think about the Idaho thing that we talked about when the guy ambushed those firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
Those assassinations that happened in, was it Minnesota? like over the summer. The guy put on
Oh,
a
the
mask.
two
Right.
Were
The
they
three? I think it was three people. What? Two
Congress
politicians? Yeah.
politicians
Yep.
or
It's been nonstop. I keep referencing how this year started, January 1st. Someone blew up the Tesla truck, the Cybertruck outside of Trump Tower. Same day also was the truck. Someone drove their truck through the crowd in New Orleans. It's been nonstop. That's why I call it the revolving door tragedy. It's insane. Insane. 503 out said Brando rolling a 20. Nice. Nice. Oh, goodness, guys. It is crazy times. I have been praying. It just feels like, I know I've been saying this for a while, but and I said this before, the Charlie stuff was happening. I'm not the only one, but it feels like something else is going on that they're building towards. I mean, we've got people like Loomer out there, and look, every Laura Loomer tweet is like a jump scare. It's just a fact. And she's saying there's going to be the 9/11s happening. And then, we have people like good old Sam Tripoli being like, oh, so that means the CIA or Mossad's doing it. Whatever it is, everyone's talking about there's a major event that's happening. And I hope we're not just manifesting it. But people are feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you guys are feeling it. We felt it before Charlie's assassination. Something it's building towards something. And just prepare. You should be prepared for anything. You should always be prepared, no matter what. Look at the people who were prepared before COVID, man. They were good life. I married a doomsday prepper. She was much more, which is weird, as paranoid as I am. I wasn't so good in the long-term prepping. I'm good in the short-term paranoia prepping. But she held it down for the long-term prepping, and
that explains so much.
Yeah, doesn't it? Doesn't it though?
It's like 5 minutes before we go live. Shane's like, "Oh yeah, here's 15 articles I want to go over during the show," and I'm like, "Shit."
Yep. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
And here I am. I've been ready for like 3 hours. I'm like, "All right, I got the show up. Let's go. Anything else?" It's like, I'll let you know.
Yes. Here is an encyclopedia of today's news. Everything from probes to aliens to whatever. Giants missing from the Smithsonian. But
I do my best work during damage control, so I can't even be mad at it, honestly. Like, I will prep for things, and nothing will go according to plan. So it really more overly is just like, okay, let's let shit hit the fan, and then we'll deal with it.
Yeah, of course.
Seems to work out the best.
I like it. This is how the show has always been. I mean, the early shows were a legit circus act, and somehow Alex kept the show afloat, despite me sitting in that chair that I must.
Yeah, which. Show some love for Alex, guys, for picking up the show for me last week.
Yeah,
Big up. You did a great job, Alex. We love you. Thanks for standing in.
What else, man? So I'm just glad you're back from Phoenix. You've been listening to anything? We got 2 minutes. We can talk music for 2 minutes. Anything new in your playlist?
Music-wise, I actually know. So when we get into the kind of transfer of seasons is usually where, like, some albums from...
yes,
Days of Future Past happens,
yes.
Where it's like, all right, I'm going to listen to this. So usually when I get into fall, I start listening to I start coming back with old school stuff like early November.
Yep.
I listened to some brand new the other day. Those kind of creep back in. I was super big into Census Fail when I was like 15, 16.
Yep.
And they were always dropping albums like towards like Halloween, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So usually when I get around here, I'll get into that. I'll go back into Devil Wears Prada and go to the zombie albums,
Nice.
Roots Above, Branches Below, all that stuff. So I'm entering into that kind of phase now.
I'm the same way with fall.
It's like pumpkin spice for college girls.
or me, because I'm basic. But
oh no,
I am a smashing. You said pumpkins. Smashing Pumpkins are fall band for me.
Yep.
Big time. Converge is for me because they always released albums are usually in the fall. So I got like You Fail Me On and Jane Doe. But I was gonna add, like the new Thrice album is incredible.
Thrice dropped the new album.
It's incredible.
I have to check that out.
Dude, it's so good. I've been listening to that. And I also was listening, Bush put out a record this year. That I
Really?
just started getting into. It's amazing.
No
the
shit.
drummer you're going to love it. The drums sound incredible.
This
Yeah,
is all
guys, the
things
last
I
2
did-
minutes of the
all
show is
things I
going to be
didn't know.
music. Go listen to it. And the song I Beat Loneliness is incredible. Like the riff is great. The drums sound great. And I want to like the Viagra Boys. I've been listening to that album. They're ridiculous, but there's something in that new album. Despite there being a lot of things, I'm like, should I even be listening to this? But that
I
song,
want to like the Viagra
that song
Boys.
Uno 2, dude, is good. I can't help it. And Better Lovers put out a new song. There's just so much good music right now. There's so much good music. I've been all over the place.
Somebody said, wasn't there supposed to be some probe news?
Oh, shoot. Let's do that really quick.
Well, here's the thing: is it's not really news.
What was it?
It's this.
That's
That's
a
all
better
it is.
image. Well, what did they say, though?
There is a new image from
was spotted
Mars.
again.
31 Atlas spotted again. This time it doesn't look like a comet. A perfectly glowing cylinder drifting across the Martian sky. No dust plume, no fragmentation, just structure.
Okay, the reason I sent this to you was the most important part of this tweet. Can you tell?
Is it? Hang on. Space mystery? Hang on. Am I looking at the tags, or is it because of who put it out there?
Yeah, who put it out there?
This was posted by 31 Atlas itself, verified, by the way.
Verified.
So we might be looking at propaganda now being imposed upon us.
Yep.
Digitally from a menacing, threatening alien probe.
Like they made like an AI image of itself for the profile picture. It's like a much better looking probe.
So this is a selfie we're looking at here.
It's a selfie.
It used our technology to take a picture of itself and post it on its Twitter account.
Created in August 2025. Who's it following? It's following Matt Walsh.
It asked, what are we really looking at here? You, apparently.
It's following Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, NASA, Elon.
1.9 million views. 1.9 million. Big fat M.
16 hours ago, it said this 3i Atlas tweeted from space, the silence from China is deafening. While NASA and ESA have gone quiet about 3IA Atlas, China's total blackout is sparking even more speculation. If it's caught this time when one captured images of the object during its close pass by Mars, it would have been the perfect moment for China to flex its space power. Instead, nothing. No photos, no data, no statements. All 4 Mars orbiters from NASA, ESA, UAE, and China were in position to observe 3I Atlas. Yet the only trace we've seen is a faint smudge from Perseverance. Good Hatebreed song. China's silence stands out in a world where every discovery is a chance for prestige. Why stay quiet unless what they saw wasn't easy to explain? Look at the little smugness in the tweets from this hostile probe. It tweets aggressively. Well, that's our show tonight, everybody. We're so glad you joined us. So glad to be back on this wonderful Monday. Brandon, tell everyone where they can find you.
As always, you guys can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Thanks so much for all our callers, everybody hanging out tonight. We appreciate you. We will see you again tomorrow. Stay weird, everybody. Till then, Shane, get us out of here.
Can't say it enough. It's the best chat on YouTube and Rumble. We love you guys. Thank you guys for showing up again. Prayers for Renee. That's very powerful. And we will be back tomorrow with who knows what. Who knows what will happen tonight and tomorrow. It's 2025. It's been the craziest year. So be prepared. Have a good night. We'll see you then. Later.